Drops and lariats from the top rope, you can't cope. The F'N Wrassling podcast in the house, now that's dope. Starcade and SummerSlam all rolled into one. Drop kick, sleeper holes, 1, 2, 3, done. Whole mics like Mean Gene or Gordon Soley. I'm Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with that Crockett trophy. So listen closely as we approach the final hour in an instant. Hands raised, crowds phase without the time limit. F'N Wrassling podcast with that ultimate finish. Suplex, now you're ending. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show. Let's go.
Here's to the people. Look, you're just sitting around with two buddies. We're all over Zoom right now. We're all listening. So just put on some earbuds and think that you're around some buds talking about some F'N
Wrestling, baby.
Today,
and this episode is gonna be fun one, like, cause Fastlane, WWE, like we say, man, you know what I mean? People shit on them a lot nowadays and everything, you know what I mean? Us included. We both do. You know,
me more than
we're
you.
honest. Yeah, you more than me, you know what I mean?
You
but
come to
you know,
defense quite often when I'm like, all that
shit, we're fans, yo. We're fans, and this is what they want, to get an emotion out of people.
Yeah,
this is what it is.
It's what passion looks like. You
Exactly.
know, the ability to take a strong opinion about a dumb hobby and just kind of take it to them. As Cameron Grimes would say, to the moon, baby.
To the moon. So they with that being said, you know what I mean? They put on great pay-per-views. They know how to do a pay-per-view show, period.
They can't book storylines shit, but
right.
Man, they do individual shows.
Shit.
And we were
great
in this one. I really wanted to. Like we kind of went, we'll let Fastlane pass us by and for WrestleMania. But after watching it, I was like, dude, can we cover this? As not only is it a really good show, I got a lot of fun opinions that I wanted to share with you and the world.
There we go. So we'll do that. We'll get started now. We'll go for about 30 more minutes or so to get it all in and figure it all out. So we'll go match by match. It was what, 5, 6 matches, I think, altogether?
Well, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
There were 8,
okay.
Including
the pre-show.
And hey, a lot of cool. I almost said cool stuff. A lot of things I want to talk about happen.
Let's do it. Let's start. Let's go.
All right, man.
You want to start match by match?
Yeah, dude. So we open on the pre-show with I almost said Matt Riddle, but that would actually be giving him credit because he's just Riddle now.
Just Riddle.
Please go back to Matt Riddle, man. I'm like, the more I get into the UFC and MMA and just like, I'm not getting into fighting. I like studying sports and things like that. So that's something I'm getting into. I just go Matt Riddle. It's so cool. He's like this, he's like Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat. Just give him just stop playing him as Jim Brewer from Half Baked. You know, I like Jim Brewer.
And Half Baked was great, but come on, man. It was
great. It's like, so my favorite thing about Vince McMahon, it's like movies come out and then 20 years later he sees them. It's like,
let's go. Let's these guys smoke pot. Let's get them high. Let's be high.
Yeah. So Matt Riddle's known to be a stoner, huh? Well, I just saw this movie called Half Baked, and there's this character named Jim Brewer. We're gonna call him Riddle, and he's gonna have a scooter, and he's gonna keep interacting with people. And you know what? It's whatever, man.
Like, so my thing, if you're gonna go that route, go full on. Like, stop hinting,
Impact.
Stop hinting at it. Yes, stop hinting at it. Stop being subtle about it. Just go full on.
Yeah, man. Have him walk out of a room and nothing but
just smoke. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're willing to have like a character like the Fiend, you're willing to go to full on schlocky comedy. If you're willing to go that direction in horror, you're willing to go the other direction in comedy. And I think just lean into it. Where, you know, what would have been really funny, man? Take your like most straight edge character you can find and have them like form a team and have to go into Matt Riddle's dressing room, open it, smoke comes out, and then like
then they all come out
and they all walk out going, where's catering? And then like, and that's the moment, that's the beat, and that's like that's a good bit of juvenile humor that just is that would be universally laughed at.
Yeah.
We're getting to the match.
But the match, him and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. Defending the US title on a title belt should never be on the pre-show. That is such an insult to the belt and what it stands for. Even if they are just kind of like fun little things.
Yeah.
It's an insult.
Definitely.
So to have this belt there, I'd have put it on the main card. I don't know what I would have switched out. none of these matches should be on the pre.
Probably would have thrown Braun and Shane McMahon on the pre-show. Fuck it, you know.
Yes, that was terrible. We'll get to that, but that was awful.
But the match with Riddle, and Mustafa was a good match.
It was.
They're good workers, you know what I mean? They do good work. The finisher was great. The bro Derek off the top rope, you know what I mean? It was.
I do like that name.
It was cool. Yeah, I love that name.
And then you had
shouts out to Bo Derek. Her coming out of that water, them braids, like in that white bathing suit, like come on, man.
Well, it's called 10 for a reason. As we both sip our top coffees.
Anywho.
But yeah, so Retribution broke up. I mean, that's my thing, man. We've been over it, man. Riddle's like has a lot of potential. I think he's New Japan. I think when we did our episode about who should leave and go where, I don't think he's a WWE candidate. I think he's like a New Japan. I think he could have more freedom in AEW to play that. If they want,
they would they would let him have more freedom with it for sure.
Yeah, you know who I'd like to see him team up with now? The Good Brothers.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would. I mean,
cool. just maybe
that'd be cool.
Not even like for a faction or anything, but just like because they both have their stoner comedy moments, and I'm like,
they both have good times for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be neat for a spinoff.
Yeah.
So let's get to the show. Let's get to the main show because Retribution breaking up is barely anything. Because hey, I didn't realize they still functioned as a group.
Yeah. No, good for them. I'm glad they're breaking up. That might help their storyline come. We'll see where that goes. Hopefully it'll just get the F out of my wrestling. Bah, baby, starting off hot. Let's go.
Starting off angry.
The next match is the tag team match. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, the champs, defending against my girl, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, which of course, I thought it was going to be a good because I think Sasha Banks could have a good match with anybody, of course. And Bianca Belair is a star. Shayna Baszler is the truth that's not being used properly. And Nia Jax is Nia Jax.
She's just threatening.
Yeah. So, but it was a lot. It was a very good match. But you know what I mean? And the ending, I loved it. I love the interaction with Sasha and Bianca in the end.
Absolutely. Well, it was so weird, man. It was a better match than I initially thought it was going to be because the whole story here is going in. If wrestling is a linear line, you're going into this match with cool. By the time we get to WrestleMania, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks need to be bitter rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, WWE has this problem, and it's played out of going, oh, look, you're tag team partners and you can't get along.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen?
All the time, man.
And sometimes it's cool. I don't know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'll probably eat my words and go, hey, man, when they did this was really cool. But I guess when it's so on the walls, sometimes it's neat. They booked it well. You know what I mean? Because they really are trying to get. I don't know, man. It was a good, match. I'm trying to get my words together, but it feels like they sacrificed the women's titles, which they don't know what to do with.
They don't know how
to tell the WWE SmackDown women's title, which is good, and we're getting there. And this is
they're lazy. It's lazy.
A lot of good work went into a lazy story. Yeah. And I feel like I'm insulting the work because you're right. Every one of those little moments between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair was golden.
Shit was gold, man. I loved it. Love it.
Like
when their interactions when Sasha slapped the shit out of her, Bianca, the look on her face, like, oh, this bitch. Oh no, she didn't. You know what I mean? Bianca I love that shit. I love it.
Made a look and the word okay so threatening. Like some people like get there and they yell and they do intimidating looks and stares, or they just and Bianca Belair just looked her dead in the eye and went, okay.
That's that crazy shit. That's that shit that make you say like, oh, they just what? That's like somebody taking a punch, like you punching somebody and they just eating it and just looking at you like, oh, well, what the hell am I gonna do now?
I regret every decision that has led me to this point.
Can we talk about this? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Like, can we talk about
hey man, I think some misunderstandings have transpired. and they've gone out here. This has all got out of hand.
Yeah.
But no, they had a lot of cool moments of them
Mhm.
just not working well as a team. I really appreciate they had matching gear. They're just telling a lazy story. It's working though, and that's like the weird thing.
It is because the good guys, Sasha and Bianca are just great. They're really
that
good.
match at WrestleMania is gonna be
Bianca,
amazing.
oh, that match. That might steal the whole show.
I don't know if they've announced what order the 2 nights of WrestleMania are going to be in.
It should main event one.
It should main event. I give it the first night.
Yeah.
I would give that the first night. I'd let the Universal title, and it's probably going to be like Raw, the world title main events one night, and then the Universal main events the other. But this is like a main event quality match. Bianca Belair's like, this is her like Raw debut, coming out party.
Yeah.
I know you love Sasha. I love Sasha too. I love her as this heel champion. I love where they're building. Really want.
I really like Bianca, man. She's
I'd
so
love
good,
it.
yo.
And
She's so good.
it happened last night on Raw, but Rhea Ripley challenged Asuka because Charlotte is no one really has tested positive for COVID-19, so no one really knows what her WrestleMania plans are right now. So
we think she's tested positive for COVID, but her fiance was just released from WWE. I wonder. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I know, man.
Fuck around with that, man, because if that ever came out, you know what I mean?
She didn't have it, yeah.
Yeah,
but nobody could ever prove that she didn't. Nobody knows if she went and got tested or not.
Yeah, but if it ever got released, if that was one of those things, that would just.
I mean, that could be a thing to where she could just say, "Look, I had some symptoms. I went and got tested, and it was positive."
Yeah,
But they're WWE.
Well, my big point is just I think we're going to get to a WrestleMania starting off fresh the next day with Rhea Ripley being the new women's champion and for Raw, and Bianca Belair being the new women's champion for SmackDown, and then there's just like, here's this dominant feat.
Man.
I think that would just be cool. That'd be a neat way to start.
Yeah, I get it, man. But fuck it. Like her just instantly coming up, instantly challenging for the title, instantly winning the title. I know that's probably what they're gonna do. It makes sense, but
yeah.
But that's damn. Come on, man. Come on, WWE.
You gotta establish. It's establishing a dominant threat, and I'm fine with that because my own thing is WWE likes to like draw things out almost to like a detrimental degree. I feel it happened with Drew McIntyre. They took them a long time to get, and I get it's the build, but sometimes the build is just having them come in and be dominant. And they've already fucked that up once with Rhea. Her losing the NXT women's title to Charlotte last year.
Fucking lost last WrestleMania.
So
they haven't done shit with her since, and then now she just appears and is.
It's a rebuild. It's a rebuild. It's a rebuild. It's a rebrand.
It's lazy. It's lazy, Chase. It's flat out lazy, and that's the kind of shit that makes people not. I can't believe you're kind of defending it more because you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like you call WWE out on this shit. You're defending this. What's up with that?
Because it's just a rebranding. Like you said, they haven't done anything with her a while. Her big point is on her official night at Raw. Like that is like the key of her entire thing is going, cool, you are officially main roster. Mm-hmm. So everything prior to you has been this babyface NXT-er. And now you're officially on the main roster. You are Rhea Ripley to the world now.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dominant threat. Now they saw you as this babyface lose to the world's queen of wrestling. It's a rebranding. It's a rebuild. I like the idea of, and I think more people should come in and do the dominant threat. I think Drew McIntyre should have done it. I think Bobby Lashley should have come in when he did as a dominant threat and not done this whole project. I like where he's at now, but it took too long to get him there. And there was so much downtime where I'm fine if someone can come in and just dominate. Go ahead, finish. It builds Rhea Ripley to be like one of the best things about wrestling is when you can look at them and go, cool, this is your style, this is your style, this is your style. Rhea's taller than most of the other female wrestlers. She has a huge amount of muscle mass over a lot of them. this kind of builds her as this dominant threat. I'm here for it, and you know me, I love Rhea Ripley, man. I can't help it.
I get it. I know.
I'm y'all defender. I love her.
Right. So you might be a little biased in your opinion in your statement here, but
I will book this woman.
I just don't. It's just not fair. It's just not fair that WWE has sacrificed all the other women on the roster just to rebrand Rhea. She lost last year at WrestleMania. She's lost several times on NXT. Like, what the fuck? Like, so she automatically just gets to appear and Asuka, I'm gonna challenge for the title just because I'm bigger and badder than you.
And again, that's
but hold on. So back to you were saying about Bobby Lashley. The only reason I will agree with that with Bobby Lashley, only Bobby Lashley, is because Brock Lesnar was the championship, and that's an automatic storyline right there because of their history and their past. You know what I mean? Just because they're both UFC, both bad, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, maybe I could go with it that, but I'm just not all about just automatically giving people title shots. I've never liked that.
I respect. I think I'm looking at more at it like a character base because
I agree. I get it. I okay with you saying that. Yes, I agree with that. With her character, that would make sense. It just automatically title shot type shit. That's my thing about it. That's the only thing I feel about it.
I respect
that's
that because this is almost the same way, and we'll get to it later because it is one of those things. But because I don't want to jump. We got one more match and then we'll be on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to jump around a little bit quicker and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, but this is a good. I love this. This is Effort Wrestling. This is me and Chase. This is how I would fix
Braun. It's the same way I would fix Braun Strowman.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't want to skip the Big E Langston and Apollo Crews match. The next one's Braun Strowman Elias. So let's just go there because that's not even a match. I could see Braun Strowman pulling the Rhea Ripley thing, have him be gone for a while and have him show back up. And he looks the way he does now and just does the me, you, WrestleMania world title because who's going to stop me?
Right.
And you're right. It's a hot shot. It does to the title. It doesn't quite work. I mean, it's how I kind of booked the Fastlane thing of like going, hey man, you have to earn a shot within the pay-per-view event, and then there's that. But I feel like for certain characters, it can work. But you're right. It's the same thing of like it's a conundrum, man.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. It's tough. Let me pose a question to you though. What if in the next 2 weeks to build up to, or what is it, 20 days or so to WrestleMania? What if these next 2 weeks they have matches, like say Rhea, not with Asuka, but she has matches with a couple of women or whatever, and just dominates some type shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Hopefully she's just not off TV, not until WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Show up the challenge and we don't see her again until WrestleMania. What the fuck?
It's so weird, man, because it seems like the way we're talking about it, the booking for Rhea Ripley is the exact same way I want to redeem Braun Strowman. And I just just go into it. They're clearly going to do Braun versus like Shane at WrestleMania or something like that, which is going to be some bullshit. Yeah. But at the show they had Elias versus Braun Strowman, which was just piss poor because Elias. And you know what? I was fine.
I'll probably do a fucking handicap match at WrestleMania with Elias and Shane against Braun.
They'll do Elias, Shane, and Jackson Ryder versus, it'll be Shane, Jackson Ryder, and Elias versus Braun, and that's gonna suck.
Fuck out of here.
I was fine with it. Elias should have gotten no offense. It should have been a squash. The match went on for like 350, and that shouldn't have even been a thing.
No.
It like Elias should have gotten zero offense.
He should have mopped the fucking floor with his ass. Yeah.
Jackson Ryder should have hopped in and tried to help and gotten destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. That's how they need to build Rhea for the next until WrestleMania. Have her like not take any offense.
Beat the shit out of these women.
Yeah, just dominate left and right, center, destroy, run in, destroy like interrupt matches, beat people up as the she can.
Yep.
Not to steal her thunder, but do what you should have done with Shayna Baszler.
Yes. Do like they did in NXT.
Yeah.
Like why didn't they just repeat the same shit in WWE and NXT? Like what the? Anyway, whatever. Keep going. Let's go.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
That's frustrating.
So there was this bullshit. Like so that's the one stuff. they're just wasting this in Braun Strowman, who is a big guy, which we're going to cover our ideas of big guys soon.
Yes.
But it was just bullshit to throw him in there and have him take any. Elias should have been a squash. Braun Strowman versus Elias should have been a squash match with Braun
100%.
taking no damage.
Yep.
And he needs a stronger finish. Moving on is the Intercontinental title, which was like the second shortest match of the night between Big E Langston and Apollo Crews. And it hit some strong moments for sure in their short run.
Very strong moments. That match was going very well. It was great. But the damn ending. Like I've heard people say, I've heard former wrestlers say, Vince used to say all the time, the only thing people will remember is the finish. They'll only remember the finish. And that finish just, you know what I mean? Fuck.
Big E went for a roll up, or like Apollo Crews went for a roll up. Big E reversed it, but his shoulder
wonkily
to really roll. So he was still pinned, but it was still like a 4 count. And
then
but I will say this, man, Big E's the vocalization that both of them hit during the match is amazing. That's one of the things from the pandemic era of wrestling I've actually enjoyed is no audiences and being able to hear the wrestlers actually talk shit in the ring. It's what made.
I wish there was a way to be able to keep that when crowds come. Because when you can't, I guess you could have a boom mic over top, kind of, but
you figure it out.
Yeah.
But when Biggie was over him doing the splashes on the apron, and you wanted this, you begged for this. This is what you want.
Those look like it hurt so
made it
bad.
all more powerful. I mean, and that's what you're aiming for, dude. It doesn't matter if you're 5 minutes on the card. If you can tell a compelling story, people will remember it. There's matches on this card I forgot about and had to look up, but I didn't forget that one happened. Bocce ending, they still hit some really powerful moments. They hit some strong moments, and they sold the story of the match so well that if it follows through to WrestleMania, I'm interested in it.
Right.
You know, there's still strength in it.
Even though Apollo hadn't beaten him yet, I think now Big E's beaten him 3 times. I still want to see them wrestle again. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe there'll be a stipulation match probably at WrestleMania.
I'd imagine.
You know what I mean? Not maybe
show the ball and everything.
Right. You know what I mean? So them 2 big motherfuckers in like a 2 out of 3 pinfalls match or something like that. I'd be down for that.
That'd be neat. So Big E went over and but they're still going. It was cool, man. I'm happy to see where Big E is. Like I said,
good for him, man.
A normal year in WWE is not January to December. It's WrestleMania to WrestleMania.
Right.
And I really feel once we're past WrespleMania, and I think Big E will drop the IC title at that point. He'll be in some world title. He could easily find himself in world title contention, especially SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I know I've mentioned in the past, I think he could be like, if Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, then Big E can be like the main man of SummerSlam or something like that. But then, so after the Braun Strowman Elias match,
I agree with that.
All we already covered, it's Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Good match, man.
It was a solid match, man. Both guys are solid competitors. It shows why you don't need a belt to put on to be a compelling match, as they told a good story.
Except the end, and I just think, man, I mean, they're giving Shinsuke a little bit of a push. Why not put him over against Seth in this match? It doesn't hurt Seth at all. Why not give Shinsuke the win?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they entirely dropped the ball with Shinsuke. Yeah. They just have no idea where to take him. I don't know if it's just he just can't cut a promo, which I don't buy.
I think he can speak enough, man. Like, dude, he hadn't done anything relative since him and AJ.
Yeah, and even then,
that was kind of underwhelming.
Like, that's more of a statement to AJ Styles' world title run of just going, it was all a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
And the problem is they just tried to repeat. That's an entirely different subject, but they just tried to recapture the magic of older matches that just couldn't follow the style of WWE.
Yeah.
And that's that. Like, he couldn't do it with Samoa Joe, and he couldn't do it with Shinsuke Nakamura because they fought an Impact style in Impact and a New Japan style in New Japan. And that don't work in WWE.
That ain't how it works.
But yeah, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke. It was an all right match. It's forgettable. I keep forgetting it was on the card.
I know, man. It's like I'm watching it. Fastlane's on right now, and that's the match that's on right now.
Yeah,
it's a great match, man. like the psychology with Seth, like the ending of the match. Like I want to say the ending of the match was like 3 moves to Shinsuke's head. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you know. I don't like
He hit
it
that
was
new
a
kick where
yeah
he, like,
that.
tags his foot
But he
on his
gave him that
side.
punch to the back of the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That got him down. Then did he do a drop or something on his head? No. He did the punch to the back of the head. That's when he dropped down to the knee. That's when Seth tried to do that like Hurricanrana kick over him, but his foot got caught and he came back and caught him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And then the foot stomp. Like that's fucking match. That's storytelling. That's psychology. That's the good shit. That's that's the only thing. The good finish about it was those 3 moves to the back of the head and his finisher.
And it was just if I'm looking at the card, it'd have been one of those matches that would have caught my eye.
Yeah.
I like both guys a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, but no, like that I remember like that stood out to me like, damn, that's the ring psychology and shit that I talk about. That's the shit that I like.
Yeah. I always said that, man. Like Seth Rollins has the capacity to be like the big heel of the company.
Definitely.
Like, and should be. Like he
has
no rights ever a face. He kind of sucks as one.
Right.
But if you just make him a heel, you can throw a belt on him.
He'll be fine.
As we were just saying, he could show up easily and just go, I want a title shot.
Yeah.
All right, Seth, I'll kick your ass for the belt, and just so you'll shut up and go away.
Yeah.
You know what? I could see him just showing up out of the long period of time and going to up to any. He did do it for Roman Reigns if he showed up on on SmackDown. I could easily see that everyone. Me and you at SummerSlam for that belt.
That's gonna happen eventually, right? Him and Roman, because they're both on SmackDown now, so it's gonna happen.
It has to.
It's got to.
I mean,
that's gonna be good.
Be SummerSlam's build.
I think that'll be good. That'll probably be to get Seth back in face. That'll probably be when Becky comes back. Because I think, man, whenever she comes back, they need to just go ahead and like acknowledge that they're together.
Yeah,
that'll help. That'll get Seth over to the moon, baby. Because people love them some Becky Lynch, yo. People hate Charlotte and Sasha because of Becky.
Yeah, Becky.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like when I booked the road, man. Like Rhea wins, automatically wins, make her the heel, and then have Becky come back. And then it is just this like Braun, because everyone's gonna love Becky.
Yeah,
Becky Lynch, man. She's the man.
She's the man.
It's been a weird time not having her. It's been a fun environment not having her on the scene, but it's gonna be fun when she's back in the mix, man.
Definitely.
Speaking of the Irish last kicker, let's move on to the battle of the Irishman and the Scotsman of Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, which was probably my favorite match of the night.
It was my favorite match. That shit was incredible. That was a good match, yo.
That was a great match,
man. Like so I was watching it with a mutual friend of ours, James, and that he had a friend with him in town that never watched wrestling or anything, right?
Yeah.
So we were all 3 watching it together. They were all into that match. They were all into that match, yo. Like the kendo sticks and shit. Like it wasn't the point, you know what I mean? I made the joke, like, yeah, I bet y'all are wondering where those kendo sticks came from, right?
Yeah. And they were
but I'm like, they're under every wrestling ring. That's just how it is. Wrestling rings are built with kendo sticks underneath them.
Yeah. You just
but the welts and shit that they were getting from those kendo sticks, they were beating the
and just started the WWE is made on their promo packages.
Yeah.
Promo package they cut that showed Drew McIntyre and Sheamus
beautiful
up the roads of Irish and Scottish and UK wrestling together, and how scrawny they were to how just like massively monstrous they are today, and so just what that storyline meant. So every time they hit one another, you just kind of saw that like it wasn't a cinematic match, but it had cinematic storytelling within it because you just went, hit me.
Yeah,
it was amazing, man. It just
hard hitting. It was perfect. It was great. It was the best match of the night by far.
They just hit these insane spots when they went up into the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
I was honestly halfway bashing it as I was going, all right, cool. You pulled this on WrestleMania. All right, you pulled this at Royal Rumble where Kevin Owens threw Roman Reigns off. What are you going to do, man? How you gonna make this? You threw him to the Never mind. And I like Sheamus, man. I like both those
And
guys.
I respect the hell out of Sheamus, yo. Yeah, I like both of them a lot, but Sheamus, excuse me, since he's come back, I
Yeah.
think I didn't see a lot of his earlier runs when he was champions and stuff back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But since I've been familiar with Sheamus, this is the best Sheamus I've seen.
Yeah.
Period.
When I got back into wrestling was like 2015, and it was like the first push for Roman Reigns. And I was like watching when Roman won. I can't remember who he beat. It might have been Seth, it might have been Brock. No, I think it was Dean. Might have been Dean Ambrose, but it was whatever it was. Sheamus cashed in on him because he had the money in the bank at the time.
Yeah.
He formed the League of Nations.
Yes.
So
Oh my gosh.
So it's been one of those things of like right when I got back into it, I knew Sheamus had been around. It was like, I like this dumb faction of the League of Nations. All the members are cool.
I loved it.
Dude, it was great.
That faction could have been the shit.
Yes.
That faction could have been one of the most dominant factions ever.
I mean,
Rusev, Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and fucking
Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto, damn Del Rio. Fuck him, but
yeah,
he's a shitty person, obviously. But anyway,
yeah,
that faction, yo,
it had all the
and it made sense. No, and what? No, Jinder Mahal wasn't in it, was he?
No.
But if he was, that would have been the shit.
Bam, baby.
But the league, I loved it. I loved them. But sorry, we're off top. Let's get back to it. But Sheamus, he's the worker's worker, man. You know what I mean? Vince loves him. What's that?
WrestleMania. It's the League of Nations versus 3-man band. Bring them back. Bring them all back.
I mean, shit, Wade's in NXT. He's announcing in NXT. Where the hell is Jinder Mahal? Like, just think about how many people are still on the payroll, but you don't, like, Bo Dallas is on the payroll.
Yeah.
Jinder's on the payroll. But this is amazing. But anyway.
Yeah, read off something.
Yeah, but no, back to the Sheamus and Drew match. It was great. Great match. Drew went over.
Awesome battle of the Bidmen.
Yeah.
It's Drew's
hard hitting
back to like WrestleMania to take on Bobby Lashley. That's just where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's where we're going. It's gonna be a great match just because
that's gonna be a good match.
Workers.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a match we've seen.
Right.
Like the headline WrestleMania. It's like two fresh-faced people headlining WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
I'll take it.
Please.
I will take it.
And then Sheamus is just that sturdy heel, man. I mean, like I said, League of Nations. League of Nations led into the Bar, which is one of my favorite tag teams WWE's actually. It's like the only time they've taken.
The only time they just threw two people together and it worked in a long time.
Cesaro were perfect, and now you're getting this like, hey, I'm your buddy with Drew McIntyre. Now it's turn. I'm all for it, man.
Yep.
Sheamus should keep on rocking.
We'll see where it goes. Hopefully it'll be another, WrestleMania, him and Drew and Bobby Lashley. But Sheamus he'll get back in the picture somehow or another. He's always there.
He's always gonna be there, man. He's like Randy Orton. You can throw any belt on Sheamus and it will work.
Speaking of Randy Orton.
Oh, what did I just do there? Was that a transition?
It was different. That shit was it was a different little him versus Alexa Bliss.
Intergender match. Well, it was a mix of like a real match and a cinematic match for sure. Because there were elements that definitely had to have been filmed prior.
Right.
But so it's playing into this whole the Alexa Bliss, the Fiend, Randy Orton. A while ago, Randy Orton burned the Fiend, and so Alexa Bliss has just been torturing him. He's been coughing up this black goo. That promo they cut with Randy, as like, I'm gonna talk to the Fiend, and he throws up the hood, and it's Randy with like black contact lenses, and he's speaking in a different voice. And it's
I thought we were going to where you were taking us, man.
I know, dude. I know. So I'm for it. I loved all of it.
Yeah.
Like I loved this whole like Alexa Bliss is like the demon entity of the Fiend, and she's just torturing Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I loved the entrance music for both people. Which was it? Well, I'm getting off subject. To kick it off, Randy makes his way to the ring. I have no idea when if he pocketed the black substance.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. Nah, that was great.
For his move, he spits up the black goo, and it's just more psychological mind games.
Right.
Alexa Bliss comes
Or
out.
is it in his mouth the whole time? Or because I'm watching it that's on right now. I jumped to that match and his mouth is closed while he's down. Like the whole time. No, he just opened it. Huh. It's not in his mouth.
Right?
Wow. So yeah, that's wrestling is the shit.
It makes me wonder if
Somebody handed it to him somehow or another.
Yeah. But then Alexa Bliss comes out and then has he charges. And it's intergender. I mean, they're booking Alexa Bliss so well too. She's the sexiest woman on the roster. So she doesn't have that. When you have her against Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair or Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey, it's not a match.
Right.
It's like a push around. So to give her you gave her the bully of having Nia Jax be her muscle, and you gave her the bully of having Nikki Cross be her muscle, and now you're just pushing her as she's demonic. You just can't fight her. So she made fire appear in front of Randy Orton, and then was quick enough to get out of the way so he would hit his shoulder. And then had her just stalk her around the ring. I loved every bit of it. I'm a horror nut, man. This is kind of away from my love of wrestling and more to my, it's a slasher film. I'm here for it.
Right.
When the scaffolding fell.
Yes.
And she was just
she's just,
charming him back, going, come on, Randy. Come on.
Come on.
All the way to just getting back in the ring and throwing the fireball at him. Just, they're playing up the powers of the Fiend.
I'm sorry, he's doing his thing on the top rope and when did he get it? When? I don't know. Wrestling is the shit.
A little bit more cinematic.
Wrestling is the shit. It's the best. I wonder if one of the cutaway shots whatever. Anyway.
Because there's that cutaway, the first fire is a cutaway shot because it gets up in front of him, going, all right, well, how do they do that?
Right.
And then just the scaffolding. The scaffolding was the one that made me question, going, all right, man, how did you not mess that one? How high out of frame is that scaffolding just a drop?
Yeah.
It's safe.
Right.
Because
that was tough.
But it was a great match, man. And you had the Fiend return, and it looked it was the Kane return, hand out of the ring, grabbing Randy Orton.
Yep.
I didn't like the look.
It didn't look too good. It didn't look good at all.
It's the burnt mask, and it's all melted to him, and the creepy tails are gone.
But whatever.
It looked better on Raw. I think a lot of it was the lighting, because when you saw the mask without the heavy purples, it looked a lot better. You got to see the charred discolorization. You got to see that he's wearing a little bit of two different eye contacts.
Yeah.
So it looked better. And then just Alexa Bliss, got the 1, 2, 3 on Randy.
Right. That was great. And
the internet abuzz.
The internet went nuts, and so did Randy's wife. She did not like that ending at all, which I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. All right, so moving on. So last match.
Yeah,
Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. It ended how we thought it would, with some shenanigans with Roman going over.
Yeah.
What's up?
Let's not jump the game, because they put on an outstanding match.
Yeah.
These two men put on what is. So if our mutual friends really like Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, I gotta ask, what did they think of this one? Because this was.
No, they liked it. They liked it a lot.
Wrestling, man. This was storytelling. Yeah. This was two sets of skills, two different styles clashing. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Bryan is a perfect through and through wrestler, and his attitude through the whole thing, I'm going, Roman, you're stronger than me. You're better than me. I'm a better wrestler than you.
Yep.
And I'm going to prove it.
And I'm going to show you. And he did. Yeah.
And Roman showed that he was a dominant threat of strength and power, man, through the whole thing, and just showing that. But Daniel's ability just to roll from one submission to another, lock and yes lock.
Yeah.
And
it's impressive, man.
It's again, I'm so happy our friends liked it, because it's one of those matches.
Yeah, they did.
Man, show me a wrestling match. That's one I would put on.
Right.
But as you mentioned, the ending. And
so we had some shenanigans. Edge
was the enforcer. Let's get this. Edge was the
enforcer of it. And yeah, he hits Daniel Bryan with the chair. Did Jay come in first?
I think Jay came in first. Yeah,
Jay
because
came
the
in
ref
first.
got knocked out.
Right,
Daniel
right,
hit
right.
the S lock. All right. Daniel hit the running knee to the ref when Roman got out of the ring. The ref gets thrown out of the ring. Daniel locks in the yes lock. No, he goes for 1, 2, 3 on Daniel. Edge runs in, just like I'm the enforcer. I can be the official, and he goes for it. Jey Uso super kicks Edge, and then Edge rolls out of the ring. Jay, I believe, gets a chair and then goes to work, and then it becomes.
That's how Edge gets the chair. Yep.
Yeah, Edge gets the chair, runs them all off, and then just beats the shit out of everyone. But before that, Roman, I've mentioned this over and over again. They can't help but over-egg the pudding when it comes to Roman Reigns matches. Everything's great. Everything's perfect. The build's there. The match quality's there. The story's there. The strength's there. Everything's there. But the ending has to be a shenanigan. There has to be that one extra element. I didn't need Jay to come in to help.
Right.
Roman could have kicked out, and then Edge just kind of has to like.
I would have been okay with Edge doing that, but yeah, he doesn't always. I kind of fought back on you when you first said this point about Roman, just because right now I love this Roman.
Yeah.
But yes, you are 100% right. He needs a dominant, just win cleanly by himself.
Yeah.
I get he's a manipulator. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you need to just show and prove that you are the badass you say you are.
And that's the problem, man. He doesn't need to be the manipulator. Paul Heyman is in his corner. He's your manipulator. Don King was the manipulator. Mike Tyson was the fucking muscle who went out there and was goddamn Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Roman Reigns needs to be the Mike Tyson of wrestling. If Ric Flair is the Keith Richards, then Roman Reigns, if you want to put Roman Reigns, Mike Tyson. What'd I say?
If Ric Flair can beat Keith Richards, I love how you just went back to that. I love that. I love it.
Full circle, damn it.
Full circle, damn it. I love it.
Welcome to F'N Wrassling. So yeah, I mean, I didn't need him to have that weak little tap. It was a cool moment because they were a lot of submissions. That keeps Daniel Bryan uber strong and keeps Daniel Bryan where he is.
Right.
And needs to stay. I didn't need it just for Roman to be what he needs, but he just needs that dominant, I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And they just keep over egging the pudding just so much with having Jay come out, having Edge there. Now it's a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Well, now what's going to happen? I don't want to sound boring or be a dissent.
It's going to be a fucking triple threat match.
But I just see Edge is going to get the 1, 2, 3 on Daniel Bryan. The crowds will cheer because who cares about moving forward when you can relish in the history? And and that's the problem, man. We don't make new stars. There's not a new star in this match. There's not a star. Like Roman is the star, but he's already established. There's no star making moment. No. Edge has had his WrestleMania moment. Daniel's had his WrestleMania moment. Roman has had his, but not a proper one where he gets cheered like he should be. This could be it.
Don't fucking ruin it, WWE. Don't do this.
I just don't care about Edge.
Not do this. Like I'm tired of the old heads coming back. I respect everything you did. Well, some of the I honestly only remember Edge from the damn TLC matches he had with the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. Like that's it. And the run and the Lita and Matt Hardy story. That's it though.
I don't care.
Other than that, I don't even care about him. But he does live in the beautiful city of Asheville, North Carolina, and is married to Beth Phoenix. But still, other than that,
he is in North Carolina, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, Edge.
But still, he's not from North Carolina though. He lives here now. But
but we might want him on the show. So
yeah, true. If we ever get big enough one day to have Edge on, we're welcome. You're welcome for sure.
You're welcome. We'll edit this back in and eat our words.
But Fastlane, all in all, man, it was a good show.
Out of the WWE right now,
right? It was a good show, all in all. Like we said, WWE does good shows, does good pay-per-views.
They do great pay-per-views. They can't tell stories for shit, but man, they can tell stories in the ring.
Definitely. 100%, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap of Fastlane. If you didn't see Fastlane,
we were going to skip it, but the show was too good.
Yeah, we weren't even going to do a recap show of it and everything, but it deserved it.
Yeah, it deserved coverage, man. So, JR, thank you for encouraging me and wanting to cover this show that made me really happy as a wrestling fan.
Anytime, brother. Always a pleasure talking some F'N Wrassling with you, homie.
Always a pleasure talking F'N Wrassling with you, good sir.
Definitely enjoy the rest of your day, people. Thank y'all for the support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your week, and join us back next time here on F'N Wrassling.